درود، مرhaba, namaste, привет, terve to Finnish friends, and hello to everyone. I want to give you a real feeling of walking in the streets, alleys, and back alleys in normal evening in Tehran. We are in a normal day in the middle of the winter. The day is beautiful, but you can see the polluted air in the distance, and the mountains are not visible, and the traffic is like this in the Sheikh Fazlullah highway. Riding a motorcycle on the sidewalk is nothing new. I think in this heavy traffic, the motorcycle is a means to escape from the traffic. But I should be careful to keep my phone and camera safe. Who knows what a person approaching us is up to? Luckily, it's just a possibility, but you have to be careful. Look at here. The first car that I bought for myself was a Daewoo Matiz, and it was nice and small, and I could park it everywhere, and it was the good point for that. This pedestrian bridge, which is connected the Marzdaran neighborhood to the Gisha neighborhood, is a blessing for the people living around here because it has escalator and it is easy to use. Well, we are now in the easternmost part of the Marzdaran Boulevard. And there are Farhangian apartments on the north side and the traffic buildings on the south side. We can reach the western part of the boulevard by anything like taxi, bus, or walking, but the road is too long to walk there before sunset. Well, I choose that taxi, that yellow one, and now we are in the western part of the boulevard. Here is a bakery, and they sell toftun, which is name of a bread, and this kind of bread is thin, bubbly, and round. It's almost evening, and the fruits have been auctioned in packages of several kilos. Look at this. This car had done a parallel park in the road without paying attention that the road is blocked. I don't know, is it normal in your country or not? Please write it down for me in your comments, and I can find out how much my walking tour is interesting for you. Sticking advertisement on the doors and walls and buildings is normal things here. But I want to ask you, what do you think if it is this kind of advertising is still effective in your eyes or just makes the city look ugly? This mosque in front is Abul Fazl Mosque. You can see it that the exterior is not built yet. It's more than 30 years, I think, that it is half built. I can guess why, but not sure about, so I don't write or say anything about. Just in front of the mosque, in this side of alley that we are walking together, that green board is another bakery special for sangak. Sangak is the name of another Iranian bread, which is very tasty. And the word sang in Farsi means stone, because this kind of bread is baked on the stone, hot stone, as you can see. Don't forget, like this walking tour, and then I will tell you something about traditional Iranian breads, which is very diverse and tasty. Some are thin and some are bulky to be used with different main dishes. The baking method of each of them is so different from the other that there is special bakery for each type of bread. And here, this huge oven is only for baking sangak. In the other places, the other bakeries may making other kind of breads, so they have different type of ovens, and each oven is special for one type of bread. I can't explain it more than this. So we will back to the back alley it's very nostalgic for me, and I want to explain it to you. The sound of cracking took my attention. Yes, there is an accident, small accident, and hopefully there is not something serious. Look at here, we want to go to this alley in front of us. This neighborhood in the west of Tehran is very nostalgic for me. My grandmother from the father's side lived here 2 decades ago, and her last house was just attached to the mosque. Now here so many things change, and it's different from those times. If I may, I ask you if your grandparents' house is still standing, and what do you feel about? Look at that high-rise apartments attached to the mosque. My grandmother's house was there, and now these high buildings built instead of that. You can't imagine how much more beautiful this street was 20 years ago. I don't know, my feeling is this, or it was really much more beautiful than this. It was shining at those times. I think these high-rise apartments don't let the light come into the street. Let's walk together along this alley to reach the Ashrafi Esfahani highway and look around. Thank you. I'm really happy walking with you in these ways. I feel that I'm walking with a close friend and I'm not alone, and I wish you feel the same. Although here is not a big street, you can see some speed limitation signs, because here is some schools, and the children, they sometimes suddenly ran into the street, and it is dangerous for them. So the drivers should be careful. Look at the left hand. Each day, hundreds of these high-rise apartments are built instead of old and beautiful houses in Tehran. The van you see is one of the thousands of Iranian carpet transports that work for carpet cleaning companies. Carpets are one of the most important home furnishing stuffs of Iranian houses, and every year, 1 or 2 months before the end of the winter, housewives hand over the carpets to reputable companies for washing, and after a few days, they are delivered clean and tidy. Well, we drove ourselves from Sheikh Fazl Allah Highway to Ashrafi Esfahani Highway. Here are the new neighborhoods built on the rural and old texture of Tehran. Mulberry gardens have been turned into apartments and shopping centers. Well, my dear friend, don't forget to turn on the notifications for the next walk and talk together. I miss you. Till then.